Who was Milarepa? Milarepa was a Tibetan Buddhist yogi and poet who lived in the 11th century. Milarepa was born into a wealthy family in the Kham region of Tibet in 1052. He belonged to a moderately wealthy family. His father died when he was still young, and during that time, his uncle seized the family's property by force, by evil ways, leaving Milarepa and his mother in poverty. So, this made Milarepa very angry, and so as he was very young, so as time passed by, he grew up, and then he attempted to regain their property and seek revenge on his uncle. So, Milarepa turned to black magic. He studied under a renowned black magician and became highly skilled in the art of sorcery, black magic. So, using this power, he was able to cause a great deal of harm to his uncle's property and reputation, which was actually Milarepa's property after his father had died. However, after realizing the karmic consequences of his action, Milarepa felt deep regret and remorse. He realized that his path was leading him in the wrong direction and that he needed to seek a more virtuous path. So he was very remorseful of his action and the kind of karma that he had created for himself. So he tried to seek a spiritual path. So Milarepa heard about a great Buddhist master named Marpa, the translator. Marpa had studied Buddhism in India and had received teaching from some of the most esteemed masters of his time. Milarepa knew that Marpa was the key to his spiritual growth, and he set out to find him. After a long and difficult journey, Milarepa finally arrived at Marpa's doorstep. Marpa, recognizing Milarepa's potential, accepted him as a student and began to train him in the teaching of Buddhism. However, Marpa's training was not easy. He was a strict and demanding teacher who required his students to undergo many years of intense meditation and spiritual practice. So, one day, Marpa sat cross-legged in front of Milarepa, his devoted student, and says, Milarepa, I have given you all the teachings I can offer. It is now time for you to put them into practice. And before Milarepa left, after saying thanks to his teacher, to his master, Marpa said, there is one last task I require of you. And Milarepa agreed to it. And Marpa said, you must build a house for me. A house, a sturdy, spacious dwelling that can withstand the harsh Himalayan winters. It will be my home for the rest of my days, and you must build it alone, without anyone's help. But Milarepa says, Master, I know nothing of carpentry or masonry. How can I possibly build a house by myself? Marpa replied, that is not for me to decide, Milarepa. It is for you to discover. Remember, the teachings I have given you are not mere words. They are the path to enlightenment, and that path requires effort, determination, and above all, self-reliance. I understand, Master, said Milarepa. So, according to the story, Marpa asked Milarepa to build several different houses because he wanted to test Milarepa's patience, perseverance, and willingness to follow his instruction. Marpa, the translator, knew that Milarepa had a lot of negative bad karma because of his prior action, because of using black magic and sorcery. So he needed to purify him before he could receive the teaching. So Milarepa was asked to build different houses in different location with different materials and in different style. And this is just a brief, but if you would go deep into this story, you would see how difficult Marpa's condition was. So Marpa was testing Milarepa's ability to overcome obstacles and follow his guru's instruction without question. He wanted to make sure that Milarepa was sincere in his desire to learn and that he was willing to put in the hard work and effort required to purify his negative karma and develop his spiritual practice. So eventually Milarepa completed in building the house for Marpa's son after 6 long years of hard work, perseverance and meditation. He made the entire house by himself from natural materials such as stones, mud and wood. Despite the challenges he faced along the way, including harsh weather, hunger and loneliness, Milarepa remained focused on his goal and never gave up. He never gave up. So, after 6 long years, Milarepa built the house as asked by Marpa, the translator, for his son. So as a result, Marpa was very pleased with Milarepa's effort, and then as promised and as decided earlier, he bestowed upon Milarepa the teachings and transmission he had been seeking for liberation and enlightenment. So, after receiving the teachings, Milarepa spent many years in isolation in the mountains. He endured extreme hunger, extreme cold, extreme physical and mental challenges in order to purify his mind. The story goes that during his meditation, that after meditating for so many time, he used to feel so hungry that he didn't used to find any food in the mountains. So he used to eat whatever was found in the mountain, that is grasses, green plant and green grasses. So over time he ate whatever was found in nature, green grasses and plants, and it had turned the hue of his skin had turned to greenish in color. So despite his unwavering determination and to attain spiritual liberation, he remained steadfast in his commitment to reach his spiritual path, to his spiritual goal, and finally, over time, he attained enlightenment.
Hope this video was informative to you. Hit the like and subscribe button to get future video.